and why he doesn't fit.
He's constantly constipated.
Everyone, welcome back to our 4th episode of Nerds of the Round. Again, I am Bryan Pruitt.
I'm Josh Arnold.
Franky Estrada.
I'm David King.
We're going to jump right into it. Again, I thank you for joining us here on Strictly Nerd. We're going to start with reboots. There are a slew of them. Of course, the more recent are like Spider-Man and RoboCop. So we just kind of want to see, is original filmmaking dead? I mean, do you feel like everything's kind of a remake or a different take on? I mean, look how many times they've done Shakespearean movies. Like, I can count like 4 or 5, like Romeo and Juliet's, 2 or 3 Othellos. Those are a little bit further back, but overall, it just seems like original screenwriting comes like once in a blue moon, and it's usually like Paul Thomas Anderson or Wes Anderson or something like that.
I wouldn't go as far to say it's dead. It's just that a lot of original content, I guess, comes across just bad, like, or it's poorly executed. Trying to think of an example.
Well, a movie that I thought that was recent that came out that was completely original to me was Knights of Badassdom.
Mm-hmm.
Completely brand new topic and theme, and I thought it was pretty awesome. I was like, wow, I am thoroughly impressed with the movie. It was not anything like what I thought it was going to be, but it's a really new concept that I hadn't encountered before. And I don't think it did very well in the theaters. It actually,
did it go to theaters?
It was pretty limited. The thing with that movie was, like, I thought it was going to be a very, like, Your Highness movie. Mm-hmm. Like, all, like, fun and games and... because it's all about like LARP and they go and they're in the fields and stuff like that. It took a weird turn and I liked that. It was pretty cool.
Are we considering like movies that are based off of books and whatnot, like part of like the original content? Because would that be like a reboot?
No. We're talking about like a movie that's been made and it's being reimagined for some weird reason.
Oh yeah, like a whole different franchise.
Like RoboCop. It was like RoboCop was fine. Did we need another RoboCop? Another reason for Samuel Jackson to drop MFR for another hour and a half. I mean, the suit looked cool, but I hear overall the movie was kind of crap.
Right, so like how they're rebooting, so to speak, Ninja Turtles.
We're not going there.
We're not going there.
When you think about it, though, RoboCop, there are so many RoboCop movies. Legit RoboCop movies. Like, everybody knows about the first one, maybe the second one. There's like 7 or 8 of them.
Well, yeah.
Are there really that many? There were 3.
Yeah.
I mean, there were 3.
I honestly didn't know there was more than one.
There's like 8 RoboCop movies.
Wow. I remember the TV show, too, back in the day.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's still original stuff out there, too. Like, there's Looper, who came out, was a pretty original concept. It was really good.
So I'm going to go ahead and rescind my previous statement here about original content being poorly executed.
No, I mean, I think if you've got a 50-50 shot, like, you're going to say, oh, that's an original movie, like Inception, awesome. But then you'll go and see something... I can't even really pull one off the top of my head now because I usually avoid bad movies.
Blackout.
Yeah. I avoid, like, I see the trailer and I'm like, you know what? Nope.
Like Transformers? Like the Transformers series?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the Transformers series. I didn't like it at all.
Like, that's another one. We're already... It's not... Is it a reboot? We can't really tell because... Or is it just Michael Bay continuing his slaughter of my childhood?
But, like, think about the Hulk.
Oh.
But I
mean, you know, you don't want to think about it.
I like the Ed Norton one.
It's okay, yeah.
The other one, which you can't find anywhere anymore.
Hollywood is ashamed of it.
The other one, I mean, it was just really talky.
But sometimes it's just for the better. You know, Marvel took it and they're like, hey, you're doing something kind of cool over there, but you kind of sucked at it, so let's make it better. Like, and then they included it in this giant thing, which...
I think Spider-Man is along the same lines. Like, they rebooted Spider-Man. They're following the comics more closely with this one. It's a lot better from what I've seen so far, I think.
Yeah, I really like The Amazing Spider-Man. But that's not to take away from Tobey Maguire either. The first 2 were not terrible.
But see, I didn't think... I also didn't...
Very specific. The first 2.
Well, they ruined Venom in the third third one, and that was
You can't ruin Venom and recover from that. They had to reboot.
But that's the thing about the new Spider-Man that's out. I don't think it's really a reboot because it's following a different Spider-Man. Like, would that be considered a reboot?
Yeah,
or
definitely.
I think so. I mean, same thing with well, here's the other thing though. Like, there's some series that are actually doing it cleverly and kind of working it into the timeline, like Star Trek with the time travel, and
right.
they actually made it a separate universe where there's the original Spock, there's a new Spock. Everything that he had happened did happen, and this one now J.J. Abrams is doing new stories. I think they might be going along the same lines with Days of Future Past. I mean, we'll have to wait and see how it turns out, but it's a possibility they could kind of erase X-Men 3 with that one.
Hopefully.
That's
Hopefully.
Now I'm gonna put this on the table, and it will stay here like a flag. If anybody thinks it's a good idea to reboot anything Star Wars, I will cut you, like straight up. It's
Please
not like
don't.
I will
it's like
find you.
let me do episodes 1 and 3 again.
We'll pull
I'll
a
make
Jay
them
and Silent
better.
Bob and just
I
go to your
I
house.
will find you and I will cut you. Don't touch it.
Now you can go right ahead and delete episode 1 from the continuity. We'll just pretend it never existed. But
We're
don't
doing
try
that now.
Don't try to redo it.
Yeah, if you guys want to do something really cool while we're on this whole Star Wars thing before we transition, there's an order to the movies that you can watch that I've really wanted to do. So you start out with episode 4, and so it kind of sets the universe with Luke and everything like that. And then you watch Empire Strikes Back so that you preserve your shock factor and the big plot twist. But then you jump and you go to 2 and then 3, so you get this huge 2-movie flashback. And then you come back and you tie it up with Return of the Jedi now that everything's kind of put together. We haven't had a chance to do it yet. I'm pretty excited to see if it changes the feel of the whole series. If you've watched it that way before, let us know. Do you feel like it helped? Do you think it hurt? And just kind of, we'll probably do that here in the next week or so, and I'll probably put something together on maybe how I felt about it. Do you feel like,
You have to take off a
would
whole
make
weekend to do that.
It would make sense though, because after 4 and 5, you would go back to get the flashback, so to speak, of what happened, how we got to where we are.
You just said that.
Oh yeah, but I thought we were just talking about it.
yeah, continue.
Well, no, we're good now. We were talking about it, repeating it. No, we're good.
And the buzzkill.
I don't think it'll take that long. It's not like we're watching extended edition Lord of the Rings. We can get through it.
Brian still would want to watch the extended edition of each of those episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So it is probably going to take a long time.
Yeah. I'm planning on a Hobbit extended edition
Oh no.
with Lord of the Rings extended editions.
I still need to watch those.
And I'm going to spend a week trying to watch them all back to back. It's probably going to be 20-something hours by the time it's all said and done. Who knows? All right, so we're going to go ahead and segue into our next topic. Came from Priscilla from Facebook, talking about our favorite games. And we're going to take it a step up, and we're going to say our favorite obscure games. Games that you'll go into a group of friends and be like, hey guys, did you ever play this game? And they're like, what? And you're like, you've never played that game? And it's so I'm going to kick it over to David. Because I think he had a better one than some.
I liked, I don't know if many people have heard of it. And I thought at the time it was a big game on the original Xbox, GameCube, and PlayStation 2 at the time. It was a game by Tim Schafer called Psychonauts. The premise of it was that you would play this kid who went to summer camp, and he would end up diving into the minds of fellow campers and camp counselors and people around, and he would discover all this stuff about all these different people that were around him. And the game was this complete trip. It was a great game. It was a platformer, a lot of the Double Fine stuff that comes out by them, but it was amazing. It was just beautifully done and executed, and everyone I've ever talked to about that game has never heard of it. I mean, even Josh here never even heard of it.
I've heard of it, just never played it.
I thought it was really good. If you ever get to develop all these different psychic powers and whatnot, and it's really cool. If you ever get a chance, or you ever see it in a store, if you're ever down at the D-pad or anything like that, I would just pick it up. It's really good.
Do you have it?
I don't have it, but I don't have a lot of my consoles anymore due to a lot of stuff.
Moving and shaking.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Bryan, you probably still have a couple of those consoles. We could probably go to one of those stores and pick one up.
My original
Just
Xbox is
emulate it.
right
Yeah, you
there.
could emulate it if you have the ability to do so. I would emulate it. 'Cause I don't think if you buy a used game, the company gets any.
Yeah.
So.
No, but it's so much funner to play like how you're actually supposed to play. Like my favorite game, and Bryan knows this, has always been Tetris Attack.
Tetris Attack.
It is
Because it's real obscure.
the most fun game ever.
Because that's real obscure.
Is it obscure? That's probably the most obscure game I have played.
You play that game on the Super Nintendo that we played. It was like that weird like Nintendo Tetris crossover thing that I had never seen or knew existed until we played it.
The idea is that Yoshi, all his friends get stolen from him, so he must defeat these people.
What
I
game
know.
is that? Like, what's the name of that game?
It's Tetris Attack.
That's Tetris Attack?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I have played this game and I still never heard of it.
Yoshi's friends get stolen and he has to defeat each level and each bad guy through putting blocks together and making combinations to get his friends back.
This actually sounds like a lot of fun. Like
It's so much fun.
It was fun when I played it with Frankie, but
it sort of reminds me. I mean, I know it's probably not the same kind of gameplay, but it's like the puzzle solving to move on is a lot like the Catherine game that Alice did that I loved. It's
that
not really.
Catherine looked a lot more complicated, and I bet it looks a lot prettier on that 60-inch screen than the Super Nintendo we were playing on there. So that was
Yes.
all kinds of pixelated.
We hooked the Super Nintendo to a 65-inch television, and it does not hold up.
The gameplay was just as fun.
Yeah.
It was great.
It's a pixelated mess.
Of colors. And you know what was awful? Like, my brother, who's colorblind, still beat me at that game.
Wow.
I know.
Oh!
He was the real player. I was just...
You're the watcher. Like,
Yeah.
you would rather watch me play anything than play it yourself.
Yeah.
That's kind of frustrating.
What about you and your any other obscure games you played?
Okay, so the game, like, I was a kid, and I don't know why I played this game daily.
Daily,
You
huh?
need to
Daily.
justify this?
It was a short game. But I played it daily. Was freaking Jaws the Revenge on Like,
I remember that game.
like you were
On
like
Genesis?
you got on the boat and you rode around until you found something or Jaws hit you, and then you scuba dove down and you collected conch shells, and then you used conch shells to buy the heartbeat monitor, and then you collected more conch shells to power up the boat and power up your harpoon gun. Then you fought Jaws.
Those shells are so useful.
Yeah, conch shells. Like, you want to fight a shark? Find conch shells. But yeah, so then you'd fight him in water, like he would swim, and you'd fight him and duck under him, and he'd like it was AI at its worst.
I don't remember the music.
So you'd fight
Danky
him,
King Shark Edition.
and you'd get him down all the way right in
Right.
hell, and the game would like stop, and all of a sudden you were able to swim away from him, get back in the boat, and he would be coming at you, and you had to move the boat like this. And then when he got close enough, you would like hit the button, he would jump up, and you had to stab him with the boat.
Wow.
Like, I don't know why, but I played that game, like, I would come home and be like, Jaws time. Like, and I'd beat it, and then I'd be good. Like, I was like, alright.
That sounds awful.
So I'm gonna have to break the console spectrum with mine. I'm gonna go with Dark Age of Camelot on the PC. MMO I played.
Never even heard of it.
I don't know, maybe 10 years.
Obscure.
I played this game ungodly amounts. Like, I think the longest session I did was 14 hours. It was an online game like World of Warcraft where, you know, you leveled up and did PvP and stuff. The max level was 50. When I was moving from level 49 to level 50, I literally just played for 14 hours straight. I only broke to go to the bathroom, and that was about it.
How old were you?
Well, you didn't just have like a drink that you drank and then liquidated into it? I mean,
Oh!
No, I started this game when
We're gamers, not Neanderthals.
my sophomore or junior year of high school, and played it well into my 20s. It was good fun times. I think one character alone, I had 94 days of playtime on the character.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
It was a fun game. Sadly, it's about to be closed down pretty shortly. I mean, it's down to one server at this point, and you know it's only a matter of time. But the people who were creating it had started a Kickstarter, and it got funded, so they're making a spiritual successor to it, and I'm super excited for it. Can't wait.
That sounds great.
Yeah, look up Camelot Unchained. That'll be the successor.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that.
See, I
Dark
can't-
Age of Camelot.
Yeah,
Dude,
that was the original.
Those cookies are ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that's another game. Cookie Clicker, and feel free to direct all of your hateful comments to me in the comments below the video, because after you look up Cookie Clicker, you will be addicted, and you're gonna hate me for getting you hooked on it.
But how are you like making cookies? You're not clicking on
You
it.
buy grandmas and like cookie
Yeah,
vines
I have-
and
So it's
stuff.
like a grandma's sweatshop?
Like
I have like 200 grandmas right there. Can't you see them? That's the top row. Like 200 grandmas.
You out of your chair.
Grandma!
Try to catch up to me right now. I'm making something like. Can you see that?
424 trillion cookies you
Oh,
have
that's
right
how many
now.
I currently have. What's the line below that?
You make 197 billion. It looks like.
I
Yeah.
don't see that.
Yeah, maybe that sounds about right. 197 billion cookies per second is where I'm at.
172 billion.
So, yeah, try to catch up to me. See if you can do it.
Oh,
Challenge
man.
accepted. No. I've given up on on PC games. I was once extremely addicted to The Sims 2.
Yeah.
You know, I would just...
Extremely.
Oh.
Extremely. Like, my summer days were spent in this weird position on a chair with my hand like this as I...
Playing God.
Yeah.
It's all just... I
It
just
was
like to build houses in
awful.
the game. Like, I would build a house, build a family, and get bored in 10 minutes and build
No,
another house.
I had
Right?
I had all these little houses, and like I had Barbie. Her name was Barbara, and her husband's name was Kenneth, and their children were like Kelly and Skipper, and all. It was
Skipper?
awful.
You named your kid Skipper?
Barbie's little sister is Skipper.
Barbie's little sister?
Yeah.
His name's Skipper?
One of them.
I'm glad you have a boy child. Because I feel like if you didn't,
But like to me,
she'd be
it was
like, if you had a girl, she'd be like, Daddy. You'd be like, she'd go to school and beat up boys because that's just what she'd do.
like now that I think of it, I feel like I played with Barbies for a long time in my
That'd be
childhood. I feel
adorable.
like it's a natural progression. You know, I got to play with Barbies in a digital format, kind of.
I played a game on the PlayStation 1. It came with the demo disc for Final Fantasy VIII, and it was this game called Brave Fencer Musashi.
Oh.
Dude, I love that game.
I love Musashi.
I loved that game.
Uh,
That game was fantastic.
the Wii had Muramasa.
Yeah?
Game is obscenely awesome.
That's
like
like-
Ninja Gaiden style side scroller.
The one that looks like Odin Sphere?
It was water. It looked like Japanese watercolors. Like,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's so amazing. The game is so cool, and it got no play whatsoever.
What were their
played
reviews
it.
on it?
I
Yeah.
played his copy, but it was.
I
didn't look
I
at
saw it
reviews.
when back when I was still working at GameStop. It actually looked really cool.
It was really fun. Yeah, like I loved it.
Is that a PlayStation game you said?
No, it was on the.
It
Oh, well,
was a
Brave
Wii.
Fencer Musashi was, but no, Muramasa was a Wii game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have it?
I do. It's actually right over there.
Dude, it's awesome. It looked cool, anyways.
So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the big topic. That Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
Daenerys, where it's at.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So if you're watching this, you've hopefully already watched the first episode of the new 4th season.
If you haven't, spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
coming. We're gonna
Pause
talk
it
about
now.
the episode.
Come, go watch the episode. Come back when you're done.
Yeah. Or just wait, stop the movie, and then go to a different IP address so I get another view when you start it over. No. But yeah, so it was what I expected as far as a lot of people were like, oh, this is going to happen, something big. I'm like, no. First
No,
episodes
first-
are always...
First 4 episodes are always set up, and then episode 5, shit goes down.
There's
Yeah.
so much that needs to happen, though. Now, what does happen like right now?
I have no idea what's going on.
So this is the little spoiler box, so be wary of anything that she says.
Yeah, if she's on camera and it has Game of Thrones in the title, tread lightly.
I will.
She has been
I
instructed to withhold her tongue.
Am I the only one here that read the books?
Yes, I know
Okay.
Katya has, but
Yes. then I'm the only one that knows everything's gonna happen, and it's like inside, and it's like wanting to come out because you guys are making all your little predictions. I bet this is gonna happen. I bet this is gonna happen.
If Daenerys dies, we aren't talking ever again.
There's gonna be a riot. If Daenerys dies,
I know nothing about
would
this
not
show.
be surprised if there's literally riots in the country. Like, I mean, people, riot over losing sports teams and stuff. No, Daenerys dies.
I know
people go
nothing
crazy.
about this show besides that there was a bear somewhere in the second season that was amazing,
Third
and
season.
Daenerys.
Third
Third season. I'm sorry, third season.
Yeah, we don't want that. Actually, it wasn't.
All I know is that there was a bear.
If I hadn't been in this Nerds of the Round, I would have been the one being like, actually, David.
All I know is that Daenerys is gorgeous and awesome, and if she dies, I'm done. I'm done.
I was super excited for Arya in this episode. Like, she's one of my favorite characters too, to be honest. Like, I just want to see her grow and like just really become a badass that's just gonna run around the country killing everybody who's ever done her family wrong. Like,
Dude, that last 15 minutes though.
Jaqen and Hagar. Jaqen and Hagar. It's coming.
Okay,
The
Bryan.
last 15 minutes though.
this is favorite character by
favorite
far.
like. I need to stop saying that because like within the first season, I was like, oh yeah, Starks. That's my house. Like they're awesome. They're all super like they're all like super
Honorable.
chivalrous and they have their code and everything's really cool. They're not trying to get anywhere or get anything out of anybody.
Then what happened to him?
And then
They all died.
yeah,
What?
They've all died
No.
except
Almost.
John
Yeah.
and
okay.
Arya.
John,
and Sansa.
Arya, Sansa, Rickon, and Bran
Rickon and
are
Bran.
all still
Okay,
alive.
So most of the kids are still alive.
Most of the
Those are
kids
the guys
are
with the
still-
dire wolves, right? With those huge
Yeah.
wolves?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, sadness.
Most, some
Yeah.
some of
no.
the wolves are still alive.
Yeah, Red Wedding was sour.
Sour.
That was just so grotesque when they put his wolf's head on him, man. Like, I
King of
can't.
the North, King of the North. I was mad at her for like a week. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't talk to her.
I only watched like the
Okay.
3 episodes leading up to that, and then I
This-
saw it, and I was mad. I wasn't even
I,
attached
like-
to most of these people.
I had
was
heard
mad.
the term Red Wedding thrown around beforehand. Nobody ever said what it was, but I just heard Red Wedding, and like I remember what happened at the end of season 1, and I'm like, I'm not gonna like this episode. Not gonna like this episode. Not gonna. And then it happened, and I was like, Yep, I'm done. Good night.
And it's like, and they're like, oh, we're gonna name the baby Ed, and I was like, curse! And sure enough, bam, dead baby.
It was more like bam, 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 bam. But yeah.
5 times. 5 times in her prego belly.
It's more like a quintuple
So-
tap.
But yeah, so
Ew.
I'm gonna stop saying I like people, minus because I've already said I like
Well, no one
Jaqen
can find
Hagar.
that guy, right?
So if he's gonna go because I've already said it, I'm just gonna keep saying it until he goes.
Is that the?
He's the face
He's the
changer.
face
yeah.
Yeah. No. Who would find it? How would he die? No one knows who he is.
I don't know.
This is Game of Thrones, dude. Nobody's safe.
But
Nobody
see-
is safe except for apparently Arya because of the threat of his wife.
But you've gotta like, if you really read it, and you really should. There's so many. It's so much better because especially if you don't know what's going on. When he's writing, he makes you believe certain characters are dead without actually killing them off. And one of those was actually
Careful.
like,
Careful.
no, I'm just saying things that have already happened.
Oh.
Like the one I was so angry because when Arya goes to the Red Wedding, and then like there's a part where it's like she ran and like and all of a sudden there's like a big shock to the back of her head and then darkness. And then you don't hear anything from Arya for a really long time. I thought Arya was dead. And then, a few chapters later, or maybe in the next book, I can't remember, but they're like, oh, she's running with the Hound. He just knocked her, unconscious for who knows how long. They don't do that in the show because they kind of can't.
Because
They,
riots.
Yeah.
they killed that.
Right.
They killed that lady who's like sleeping with Satan.
What?
The one who's like going out and like birthing like
the-
black shadow demon
We don't-
baby.
Red
Melisandre,
She's
she's not
alive.
died
Why
yet.
is she not dead? She needs to die like yesterday.
Because in her contract, it has that she's allowed to
She's
show
a
off her
contract?
body. I'm sure she does.
Oh, for the show. I thought you meant like in the story. I was like, she has a contract with who? Satan?
With the red god. Get it right.
Satan? He's pretty red.
I mean,
The-
Wow.
there's one,
Fire dead.
like, there's lots of people want dead in there. I mean, you've all seen the memes of all the redeemable
Everybody.
villains on Facebook, and then there's this guy
Yeah.
with a picture of Joffrey,
The
which,
DB.
but, yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for season 4, it's
Wait, how do you
Good
come
start.
back from that? How do you come back from having a shadow thing
That was like 2 seasons
crawl
ago.
out of your womb like
that was
Wolverine.
a long time ago.
You saw how they came back, but she seduced what's his face and put all the little thingies and burned all the little leeches.
You mean more Satan inside of it?
Technically,
Gross.
yes, she's using King's blood to get what she needs again.
Gross.
Gross. Gross.
Daenerys should come in with all her dragons and kill her first. They shouldn't eat her. Because then they just get Satan inside them and then they go crazy.
Can we talk about something I'm a little upset about? They completely changed Nario's face. They had to change the actor. They completely changed his entire look. And they didn't even go back
wasn't he supposed to have some ridiculous
Yes,
beard?
he's supposed to have a blue beard with 3 points on it.
That's
He didn't even have that in the original one.
He
did
didn't, and then I'm like, oh well, maybe since they're changing actors, maybe they'll actually do it right. And they didn't, and that made me
They
very
gave him
upset.
his beard, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just got this little. He looks like Braun now. It's like.
I have no idea who we're talking
I
about.
know, honey.
That was the
Aw.
guy that was with Daenerys.
Bless your heart.
In this episode, he was holding up the storm with.
They were gambling with Grey Worm.
Yeah.
Which one, the black dude or?
The
the
one with the beard.
The one with the
Oh,
beard
the
with
one
with
who's
without
the one
the
who's
Come on,
giving her the
dude.
flowers.
Let's pay attention.
The one
Yes.
who's giving the flowers.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know who these characters are. I don't know much about this show.
Well, we're getting him there, so that
We're
he can
gonna
be relevant in
Clockwork
the next
Orange
one.
you into watching all the episodes.
It's too long. I just want to see Daenerys. That's all. That's the only story I care about. And then Arya every once in a while. That's it. Oh, and then that guy, who was in the
That guy.
with the wall and the ice.
Jon
Wild.
Snow.
There we go.
Yeah.
That guy's cool.
Well,
Think about it this
you've
way,
got
Snow.
about half the story going for you now. That's 3 big story arcs. So you
That-
kind of like the show now. Good job,
Wait,
David.
what's your other favorite?
That's it. Daenerys. That's,
No, what's your other favorite? Like a sticker.
But from what I understand, the bear's dead. Can't go back home to his family. No more peeling people's faces off like stickers and wandering around eating honey and living his happy bear
It's
life.
not Winnie the Pooh. It's-
Bears can eat whatever they want. If he wants to go out and eat honey, he can go do that. Cause who's gonna stop him? You see those hands? Like a sticker, Frankie.
Bees could stop him. Maybe he's allergic and one will get in his throat and sting him.
He just
Anaphylactic shock.
He can just go
What?
swim. Bees don't swim, so he'll just run to the water and swim away.
I like how you're
Rationalizing
the bear. I like this.
He was
Okay.
my favorite.
Alright, well, I think we'll wrap it up there. I think for the course of the season with Game of Thrones, we'll always end Nerds Around with Game of Thrones. I just think it's a strong topic, and as you can see, we really hit it pretty hard.
Expect spoilers.
So be ready for that, guys.
Always watch the episode before you watch this.
Yeah,
Especially if
that's
it's Game of
definitely a
Thrones
good
in the title.
disclaimer. A good disclaimer. Well, all right, guys. I think that'll tie it up for us tonight. Please go ahead and like and subscribe. And as I've said before, go ahead and let us know about your Game of Thrones predictions. If you've read the books, please don't spoil. As far as movie show watchers like us, we're kind of feeling it out. Let us know about the games that you played as a kid, or even now that are obscure, or maybe not as well known as you'd hoped. Or are there any reboots that we may have glanced over, or maybe a reboot that you want to happen that hasn't happened yet? Just again, let us know. Make sure to jump over to facebook.com/strictlynerd and also onto Twitter @strictlynerd. Again, my name is Bryan Pruitt.
Josh Arnold.
Frankie Estrada.
David King.
This is Molag Ball. It's kind of scary. We are playing ESO. Well, some of us right now. In the comments below, also drop your usernames down there, and maybe we can get a big guild or a group together, a Strictly Nerd guild, and run some of the dungeons and stuff like that. So until then, we'll see you next time.